WD-40 is actually made with fish oil.
Well, I come to my storage shed. It's bad enough I get stuck in traffic all day long. It's bad enough that the temperature is over 100 degrees every day, as early as 8 in the morning and as late as 11 o'clock at night. They're doing some remodeling over here. Looks like they're trying to put in a new air conditioning system. And that's my workspace. That's my work table. Look at what they're doing up there. Tearing apart the ceiling and tearing apart the air conditioning. Hopefully it'll be cooler in here. They've never had the air conditioning. Yeah, that's my work table. And this is my room. This is my... I can't even get in there. Well, I can, but I'm gonna wait till they kind of tidy up this place a little bit. Anyway, that's how my morning started. Now, I want to talk to you about ants. And I don't mean aunts and uncles. I'm talking about little bugs. I love this long hallway. But if you look, the lines on the floor are not even straight.
Alright, welcome back to All Things Gumball. You got to see my workspace is all torn up. And I told you I'd talk to you a little bit about ants. And I don't mean this kind of ant. You have a common enemy in this business, and they want to eat your food. Small little ants. And I don't know how they find the candy, but maybe they have a very powerful sense of smell. But every now and then when you go to your vending machines, very rarely will you see a little trail along the wall and leading up to your machine. And sometimes you'll find them in your machine. The little ants will be in your machine. And sometimes they're so small you don't even notice these ants are there. Sometimes you won't notice them, but the owner of the store will say, hey, you have a problem with ants. Can you deal with it? Or they'll ask you to take your machine away. So you don't want to have this problem because you will lose a location. You're not going to lose the machine. You will probably lose the location if you can't convince them that you can solve the problem and keep it under wraps. One of the first things you want to do on all of your machines is take some petroleum jelly and you want to take a pretty large amount of it and you want to put it on the bottom of the vending machine, but you want to circle around all the way around. Now the reason you want to have it that high on the machine, you don't want to have it down low, and you don't want to put it on the pole just on the top, but just on the top of the pole right here, and nobody will see it, nobody will mess with it. If they pick up the machine to move it, they're not going to get it on their hands. It will collect dust. You will see dust over time. After about a year or so, you might want to redo it. It'll have a little, it'll collect dust. And the ants, what they do is when the ant is looking for food, they leave little markers. And I think it's saliva. They leave little amounts of saliva and they make a trail. And they know how to find their way back with the trail. Okay? And so once they climb the pole looking for the candy, because obviously they can smell it, once they get to the petroleum jelly, they won't go any further. Because even if they put the trail there, they can't crawl through it. Okay? Another thing you might want to do is when you service your machines, and bring a paper towel with you because that'll be helpful. When you service your machines, now you'll see the ants on the floor for one, but you don't want to put this on the base. What you can do is use WD-40, and you can spray the WD-40 down onto the base, and then take your paper towel and just wipe it clean, and it'll leave a scent, a pretty strong scent. The customers don't really smell it because it's so far down on the floor. And another thing that it does is it leaves a very shiny look to your vending machines. Okay, and that'll keep the ants from coming back as well. And this I do a little bit on the pole as well, so it looks clean. It looks brand new. And another thing about cleaning the base, you do want to clean the base when you service your vending machine, because when people walk up, they see a beautiful, clean, shiny base, and they're more enticed. They're thinking, oh, the candy must be fresh because someone cleaned the machine. I'll tell you a story. I once had a vending machine and it had ants, and I wasn't able to do anything with it at the moment, so I just took the machine and I moved it into another location. I didn't try to get the ants out of the machine, because what's happening is the ants will go up into the machine, they'll grab the candy, have a bite of it, go back down, and they'll go home. Maybe they deposit the candy at the house or whatever, and then they come back and get more. Now, if you just take the machine and move it, once they come down from the machine, they'll be lost. They won't know where their trail is, and they won't find their way back home. But once they leave, once they try to figure out where their home is, they won't come back. But that's not a guarantee that they won't find it. I mean, if you move it 5 feet or 10 feet down the way in the same business, they may end up finding it. So if it's a tile floor, what you can do is you will have a residue of the WD-40 on the towel, and you can wipe the floor around the machine. Another thing I didn't tell you is you can lean the machine over and make sure that you do the bottom of the base as well. Go all the way around the bottom of the base with the WD-40. And I guess that's it. There is another thing I wanted to share with you about WD-40, just in case you're a fisherman. You can spray WD-40 on your lures, and the fish love the scent of it. WD-40 is actually made with fish oil, just in case you're someone who loves trivial facts like I am. All right, well, I hope that helps you with your vending business, and have a good evening, have a good afternoon, or have a good morning.
Please hang up and try again.